So for this velocity triangles, one thing you have to remember that the jet of steam enters and leaves with relative velocity to the moving blade. Okay, some key points are there for the impulse steam turbines. First one is for symmetrical blades. Blades means moving blade. Okay. If the moving blades are symmetrical, then the blade angles, then blade angle beta 1 is equal to beta 2. For symmetrical blades, if the blades are symmetrical, then inlet blade angle must be equal to the exit blade angle. Second point is that for frictionless blades, blades means moving blades. If the blades are frictionless, that means this is moving blade. If the blades are frictionless, it means there is no frictional force between the surface of the blade and the steam fluid. There is no friction between the surfaces. That's why relative velocity VR2 is equal to VR1. VR1 is the velocity at which the flow enters to the moving blade, and VR2 is the fluid velocity at which flow exits to the moving blade. These two velocities are equal when there is no friction between the surfaces. Okay. Third point is this: if there is friction in the blades, then VR2 exit velocity is equal to K times VR1 inlet relative velocity. Exit velocity decreases as the friction is present in the blades. K is known as blade velocity coefficient. Or blade friction coefficient. Okay, as the flow enters in the once flow is entered to the moving blade, then we will talk only to the moving blade, and that's why these blades are for moving blades, these velocities are for moving blades. Okay, that's it. We will discuss what is the power developed by the turbines. Okay, we know that the work component of this absolute velocity V1, the work component VW1 is responsible for the rotation of the rotor or hub. That's why this will create or generate the rotation of the rotor. Okay, so we also know that torque is equal to rate of change of angular momentum, is also written as dy by dt of mvr is equal to dy by dt of m is mass flow rate and mvw1 into r1 minus of vw2 into r2. Okay, here I have written dy by dt of m is a mass flow rate in bracket V velocity. V is the velocity that responsible for the rotation of the rotor, that is VW1. That's why we have written VW1 here. Okay, and this minus sign, there is change in linear angular momentum. VW2, V, as you see in the diagram, VW1 is the whirl component at the inlet in the velocity triangle VW1, and VW2 is the whirl component at the exit. Both two velocities are opposite to the opposite in direction. Because we are drawing the vector diagram, these two velocities are opposite. That's why a minus sign comes in the picture. Okay, so you can write m times VW1 R1 plus VW2 R2. Okay, now work done per second is called as power, and power can written as torque into omega. Angular velocity, this power is equal to torque. We have calculated m VW1 R1 plus VW2 R2 into omega, and omega is equal to, or you can see linear velocity V equal to U equal to R omega. Use this relation and you can rewrite this relation m VW1, this is U1 plus VW2 U2. U1 and U2 both are equal because U1 and U2 both are equal because the blades are symmetrical and mounted, all the blades are mounted on the same rotor. That's why VW1 plus VW2 into U. This is the power generated at the steam turbine. Okay, now this is the power generated in one stage. Staging is actually the number of turbines connected. Okay, if there are n number of turbines or stages, each stage comprises of set of nozzles and moving blades. Each stage comprises of set of nozzles and moving blades. Okay, and each turbine is called a stage. Each turbine is called a stage, and each stage comprises of set of nozzles and blades. Staging is the connection of more than one turbines on the same shaft. Okay, so if there are n number of stages, then total power is equal to n times VW1 plus VW2 into U. This is the total power developed by the impulse turbine. Okay, that's it.